We can make millions together.
Your manager came me like ghost in that back, straight up chuckle.
It's about that team.
No reason to be running around here going to other people and doing all that when we can make millions together.
Your manager came me like ghost in that back, straight up chuckle.
It's about that team.
No reason to be running around here going to other people and doing all that when we can make millions together.
Your manager came me like ghost in that back, straight up chuckle.
It's about that team.
reason to be running around here going to other people and doing all of that when we can make millions together.
Your manager came me like, don't send that back. Straight up check.
It's about that team.
No reason to be running around here going to other people and doing all that when we can make millions together.
Your manager came me like, don't send that back. Straight up check.
What up?
It's about that team.
What up, Chinky? How you doing? All right, we are live. We are going live on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of playback right there. Let me get my headphones. I've done some things. I put some stuff together. I've set up my vibe how I like it, how I want it. I'm excited. Not only for me, but for y'all. Let me figure something out though. Cause these cables be bugging, man. What up, Liquid? What up, Cheyenne? I'm glad y'all could join. What up, Mike? What up, Lady Hollywood? Lady Hollywood, I'm gonna send you. Reach out to Lucia, but I'm gonna send you a link. Maybe I'll have you guys come chop it up. It is the weekend review. I just want to talk about some things. You know, I just want to chop it up. And I'm thinking, you know, if you and Lucia get together, I'll bring you guys on the show, live and direct, so we can talk. Because that we did have an interview and a conversation a little earlier this week, and it was pretty. We were able to keep it PG-13 without making it and serving the community. Listen, if you're on my IG live right now, make sure you guys hit the like button and all that. But let me know you're in the room. That always helps out. I like to know who's kicking it with me on IG live. I mean, not IG live, but YouTube. But I wanted to do, you know, talk a little bit, catch up a little bit. And tonight is that night. I've been posting some really cool stuff lately. I think a lot of people have been digging the content, and talk a little bit, catch up, and that has me excited. So let me get things sorted out. What up, Pink Diamond? It's your favorite green-eyed bandit, one of the sexiest men you've ever seen on Instagram. Come holler at your boy right quick. They call me the green-eyed bandit. How do I want to set this up? Say hi when you enter. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Buy some stickers or super chats. There she go. And let's have a amazing time. Okay, so let me pin this. I'm gonna invite you guys. You know what I don't have? I'm gonna have to figure out. I'm gonna have to figure out how to set it up for a 3-person conversation too, because right now a lot of these shots are set up for 2, but this shouldn't take but a second. Yeah, it shouldn't take but a second. We're in good shape though. I got a lot of good things happening. Let me go to the interview shot and see how I can do that. You know what? I'm gonna create another page. While we're talking, some people are gonna see me doing some work on the screen. I'm on YouTube. You guys can join the room now. While I get it set up, I'm gonna create a whole nother page for us. Plus, all right, new scene, 3-person interview. And then I'm gonna send you guys the I'll send you guys the link to join live. What up, M Black? Oh, Marcus, this was up. Yeah, Marcus, if you want to jump on too, man, you can come jump on as well. Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave a generic version up for now. Let me send you guys the interview link. All right, so I got it copied there. Let me go to my Instagram. Let me go to my Instagram. I'm just jumping me into people's pages with all this music and stuff. So check your DMs, lady. All right, so check your DM, Lady Hollywood. I'm sending it now. This is the link. Boom. That's yours. Let me send it to Lucia. And I fixed it, Lucia. So I fixed the it's your eyes for us. That's what's up. Better to see you with. So let me what did I do? So let me do one camera source and put that on me. Let's get off of that one. All right. I be having to do a whole lot of little setup. Y'all have no idea. All right, let's do that. I want to change there we go. That's the way I want to look right there. If y'all are on my YouTube channel, y'all see me doing all this stuff right now. What up, Shay? What up, DJ Lee? We're going to talk tonight, man. I just want to get into some things. Some of y'all can join me live on YouTube. I'm going to have 2 guests on here in a moment whenever they chime in. And we're going to do some talking tonight. And I rotate people in and rotate people out. I can have up to 5 guests. 5 guests at one time, and it'd be cool to have a dialogue with a few of you, my cool supporters and fans. Yeah, man, for sure. So, what up, Roy? Roy, don't you have am I supposed to do your podcast? What up, Breaker? Shay, join me over on YouTube. That's where I'm at, y'all. And it's a whole nother vibe. When y'all see the setup on YouTube, y'all get it. Like, y'all see a small portion of what's going on here, and y'all see that depth of focus. I put up a reel so y'all can see what that looks like. The reason why my focus is so focused on me right now is because of a little Instagram. I mean, it's a hack that iPhone put in there for Instagram, just for Instagram. I haven't seen it on any of my other programs, but it does a depth of field thing where it makes the focus really on me. And I got some, I mean, it's really dope. But more so than that, I got y'all set up here to join me on my YouTube channel. Well, okay, there you go. Yeah, what up, Jill? I was doing something. What up, Jared? I see my people. All right, there we go. And y'all should be able to hear. Let me see. Can y'all hear? Y'all should be able to hear this applause. Yeah, it's clapping for me. Yeah. Give y'all a little background music. Yo, everybody, L for L, what up? Gotta hear some of your artists, man, so I can drop some beats. Big man, holla at your boy. Yo, I'm live on YouTube. That's why I posted it down at the bottom so y'all can see, and y'all can come and we can chop it up. And there's a way that you guys can play music, you know, to my audience or whatnot as well. So I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into doing some music reviews on this channel or whatnot. But tonight, we just chilling, and I just wanted to do like the weekend review. It's a lot of stuff that happened this week, man. It's a lot of stuff that went down that, you know what I'm saying? It's worth having a conversation with and getting y'all perspectives on. So I got two guests about to join me in a moment. That's gonna be really cool. I like having them on. It's always interesting. It's always a vibe when Lucia and Lady Hollywood is in the mix. If you guys want to invite people to not only for everybody on YouTube, if you're on my YouTube channel right now, go to the share button at the bottom and go to your Twitter, your Facebook, and what's another one you can go to? Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I don't know. You can go to your Twitter, your Facebook, and you can share this page. Also, you can do it via the comment link, so you can do that as well. But you can do that to let people know we live. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna create a post, and it's just saying, yo, we live right now, shooting the holla at ya boy. There we go. I just made a public one, and that'll go out to everybody who's online right now. But yeah, Jill, Jared, if you guys are you know, I'm opening up the floor, man, for everybody who to join me live and have a conversation, and we can chop it up. What up, Pasha? I see you. So they should have the link to that, and I'm just waiting on them to join. But I love what's going on, man. Lately, it's been a few things that I've been able to implement this week that I think have been really cool. I'm live on YouTube, Pasha. Come join me. I put the link at the bottom. Okay, there go my people. They both joined at the same time. Look at that. Let me get both of y'all here in the lobby. I'm gonna add both of y'all to the right. I see you. I got you. Sign guest 1. Sign guest 2. And there we go. All right, let me do this. Hold on one second. Let me do, how do I want to set it up? I want to do that. I want to do that. But I want to do it in such a way where it looks really cool like this. No cropping the screen. There we go. Okay, so let me stop this.
Hi, Lady Holly.
Now, there you guys go. It might help if I turn my headphones on, right?
Maybe.
Oh my God! Look, I want y'all to know that. As a matter of fact, let me go look at the analytics just so y'all understand just how much of an impact the last time we were on. I'm just saying, because I was like, yo, y'all are crazy. Let me
Should
see.
I get the clitoris out?
So we are going to still try now. Okay, so let's
Wait, are you looking for the clitoris?
see.
Are
We
you
still
half naked?
no. We have to keep this a little more. You know, the audience, y'all. The audience. You know what? I will though. We will do a set it off. You know, a no holds barred. I just got to prepare for that.
There's no preparing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Lucia, I'm getting like an echo from you.
From Lucia.
I have everything. I hear the echo. I don't hear the echo when I talk. Only when you talk, Lady Holly.
No, I hear it when you talk. So it's the same thing.
So keep talking.
I'm gonna keep talking.
Oh, it went away
All right, you can do that
now.
too.
You make me feel like
You make me feel like a natural woman.
Okay, so no echo for nobody, right?
I don't hear it
Correct.
now.
We're good. I don't hear it anymore.
All right.
It's all gone.
Alicia, what's up?
Y'all.
Train wreck, what up, homie?
I wish I could see Lady Holly. Are you watching YouTube as well?
No.
Oh, so y'all
Okay.
can see the people that come in. That's right.
We can't see.
Oh, true that. I guess I should do that.
Well, so if I do it on my phone, is it gonna echo?
What?
Nah, well, you should only be looking on there and listening on here, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yes, it does.
It freaks me out only because it's a delay, so I stay right here.
That's funny.
So I'm looking on here. All right, now I can see on here.
Okay, it's in my lives. Okay, I was like, where was that? Okay, so.
Scratch face. I was like, he up to something.
No. I'm looking for something because.
No, not now. Earlier when you were on the line, you were like, You're like, if you could get Lucia, I was like,
yeah.
I text her.
All right,
It's perfect timing and everything. I just got home and.
Same here. I just got in from Minneapolis and Phoenix.
How was that? How was that trip?
It was great. Absolutely great.
You had a good time?
I did.
I'm afraid to ask. I'm afraid to ask. See, I knew it. I was going to ask, but then I'd be afraid to ask because I know asking, I'm going to get all the sauce.
You want that sauce too because it was so fucking good.
See there. See there.
All right, potty mouth.
So listen, for those that are tuning in that what up, Paul? Who don't know who you guys are. I think it's important you kind of just take it easy on them, but let them know who you guys are.
I am in a reincarnation of the Virgin Mary. No, just kidding.
I was like, "Mom?" Who?
Right.
Who are you?
Lady Holly, you go first. You tell people.
Lady Holly, indie R&B singer, turned motivational speaker. At the same time, dove in full speed ahead at defining a practice that is very near and dear to my heart, which is know to know thyself, where I do tons of spiritual and interestingly enough, sex coaching. We say sexological body work, but hands-on sexual healing. That's what I do.
Sexual
like Marvin Gaye.
healing.
Sexual healing. When you don't have that feeling, that's when you usually look out for sexual healing.
That part.
And then when you are blocked, or then when you are, in your relationships, I think I like doing more of them. Now I think I like doing more relationships. And
it's pretty cool, right? Like when you say doing relationships, you mean like communicating with couples or people who need help,
helping them. Yeah, and so one of our sistren is Amina, who was on Gwyneth Paltrow's show Sex, Love, and Goop. Shout out to her.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so put some stank on it. Put us in the know. Put us in the now. Put us trending. Even though I don't know that we ever, once I started tantric versus oming, which is, extended orgasm, and once I started doing that work, understanding Kundalini energy and our and your kind of manifestations and that kind of work, there was no holds barred. So I do a lot of different stuff. Scrap. I am blessed to be in my divinity path and getting it in
and doing
saving the
what you're
world one orgasm
and,
at a time.
all right. What the world needs now is
Is an
love, sweet
orgasm.
love. See, I can see you two punching me in the face after this whole thing. It's gonna be.
Oh no! I think we're bringing you over to the dark side.
Is that what it
I'm already
is?
in the dark side.
I gotta stay in the light. Y'all see, I gotta
The
stay in the
thing
light.
is, within the dark, there's the light, and it's like this is the thing that people don't recognize is that because sexuality has been, first of all, we're working on a colonized view of sex here in the United States, and
Preach,
you
preacher.
know, and religion has tamped it down. Really, the source for all creative energy, potency in this planet, and love comes from this type of energy. It's not just for having penis and vagina sex. It's for, like Lady Holly said, we're on our spiritual path. We are here to support the evolution of humanity and break down all of the constructs of what people have been told through media, through religion, through cultural conditioning, and really start to go back to a way of understanding the wisdom of our ancestors. What Lady Holly and I do. First of all, my name is Lucia.
There she go.
Okay, I am a pleasure instigator, permission granter, and I call myself that because there is not enough joy and pleasure. There's so much pain in this world that people don't come to me to have more pain. They come to me to learn about more pleasure, and so I do that as a somatic sex educator and sacred Tao pelvic healer, and I also incorporate, for those people out there where this is legal, I support people with the use of psilocybin.
We have to say that.
I'm just saying.
Psilocybin integration into doing deep, energetic and physical healing in their body. So some states this isn't illegal, and we're just going to call it what it is. This is considered in some places sex work, and we know that it's anything but like what people think of. We work hands-on. I'm like understanding the body, understanding communication. I primarily started working with women, but I do work with people who identify as men now. And my foundation over the past 20 years was actually, much like Lady Holly, is extended orgasm. So I learned something called deliberate orgasm, which kind of came before the Om community. And it was all about extending, not looking for the climactic end, but knowing how to manipulate the clitoris, which this is what the clitoris is.
Oh my gosh.
And
Lady
understand how to control a woman's nervous system. But it's not just a physical act, right? It was based in the communication and connection and elevation of consciousness. So that's my foundation. So I have literally over 6,000 hours of receiving this type of orgasm. I've demonstrated, been the person demonstrated on for an hour-long orgasm. I have clients around the world, and that's a lot of fun because when you're at that level of awareness around your sexuality, you embody it. And so what you see is what you get. And that being said, I have this coconut ice cream shake that I made, so I'm gonna eat it.
All right.
She brought the snacks.
I know, right? You know what? We should all had a snack or whatnot or something.
My tea.
This festive Christmas season. I don't have anything in here right now. I mean, I do, but I don't. It's not in range for me to go get it.
Well, when Lady
Toddy,
Holly,
go get your tea, go get your stuff.
yeah,
Hot
when
toddy.
Lady
You know
Holly
what?
sent the text, I was naked and just making this. So I was like, all
And
right.
she goes, let me put some clothes on. I was like, or not.
Right. The decision making is priceless.
It's all right.
Should I wear clothes to make this ice cream or should I not?
Because you're home, like, you know.
Yeah.
I never wear clothes at home. Like, it's
Yeah.
very rare that
They're
I have clothes
overrated.
on.
Scrap.
All right. I hear you.
Scrap out here in those.
I think
in the sweatpants.
I think it's easier for I am too. Now as you say that.
Like I'm in my gray sweats right now, you know.
And my custom shirt. Y'all see it says I am the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like that.
so by the way, I have ladies versions available. You can get it through Instagram.
Okay.
And they're different colors. So I was able to open an Instagram shop. I'm gonna do more with that because also I'm gonna do a shirt for. I know you guys seen my reels where I do the look.
Yeah.
So there will be a shirt called the look, and it's gonna be interesting. I got my guy working on it already, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna send you a shirt, my shirts. Have you seen them?
I have not
Ooh,
yet.
that's
Can
right.
you? I haven't seen it. Can you put it on camera right quick or?
That's not wearing his shirt. He's
I
not
am wearing
walking
my
around
shirt.
with a clit. No. You'll
Oh.
see that.
Oh, I should be wearing. We should be wearing our.
Oh,
shirt.
is that what the shirt says?
No, my
No.
shirt says Clitorati.
Well, you do know. Okay, y'all are pulling me in. I see it.
Blaming us. That's because we do good Kegels, mental and physical.
No, clearly.
He's telling us to come on his show, and he thought that like this was gonna be like the scrap
right?
show.
No. So listen. Wait. Back up.
He said we can review.
That's what it is. So, Lady Holly, you said Minnesota and Denver, or where did you travel from?
I was in Phoenix and Minneapolis.
Phoenix and Minneapolis. How was Minneapolis? Did you go by any of
Minneapolis
the
was snowing.
Did you go by any of the Prince stuff? Did you feel the presence of Prince?
Yes, sir. And actually had the best time. So shout out to the Prince Club International and then the Prince Club on Facebook group on the New York Prince fans. We are amazing, and they're moving the bench and the statue people inside because it's cold, and so there's just a lot of stuff that's going on with the fact that I'm still in denial. I miss him every day, and clearly not the only person. So yes, it was football, Prince, and snow.
No, likewise.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that's
still
why I
can't get
asked.
over that.
That's why I asked. Like, so were you there for that? Was that like the major reason for being there? Was the club and?
No. I mean, I do this thing where if I'm going somewhere, I don't know about anybody else, but I use my layovers to see people.
Right.
And so one of the members of my band when I was Lady Hollywood in Effect moved to Minneapolis because he looked like Prince and he just embodied Prince, right? So Shady was like this it was like Usher meets Prince. It was really interesting. And so he moved there. And so since I was gonna have a layover there, he invited me to
True story.
He moved, and so I hadn't seen him in probably over 10 years. So we used this as an opportunity since I was gonna have this nice long layover, respectively. Like just as I went from New York to Houston, I always go see my cousin if I go to Houston, and hang out. Because airports are they're. If you gotta be there, you might as well have fun.
No,
Once
no
you're already
doubt.
checked in, you don't have to go through the bag process again. You just take your stuff,
Yeah, take
run
what you
out,
got. Yeah,
go to a coffee shop, and then go hang out, and then come on back.
that's dope.
Yeah, no. So it was definite, and then met folks in Minneapolis who were there specifically for the whole weekend. And then the New York crew, matter of fact, they were in LaGuardia just now, and we talked all the way home.
That's dope.
Just had a good old talk
No, that's dope.
about memorabilia, and then like what happens when we pass, who's gonna get the memorabilia. And one of my friends stole the damn guitar off of the concert. So
Wow.
he's got it in his house. He's got one of the white ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, no.
That's super
And then
dope.
my friend, my little sister, he liked my little sister, so he gave her the tambourine from one of the Dance Theater Harlem benefit concerts. And so I hadn't seen him in like almost 20 years. He was like, "Can you tell her to give me my fucking tambourine
That's
back?"
hilarious. Hey
So
man.
yeah, no, it's a thing. Like it's a thing. We were talking about, you know, just how much I, you know, followed. All you had to do. I had 2 memberships to MPG, because nobody else figured that out but me, and maybe I don't know. And so that I could take, and just so I could turn people into Prince fans, because
Right.
like people didn't, they slept on who he was as a musician, and like tonight we were talking about like now the extended remixes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm listening to the whole, like I'm in this whole moment, but I don't know if you remember Showgirls.
No.
Okay, so there's this scene in Showgirls. There's this song that he wrote, and it is the best stripper pole song in the whole wide world. I get more.
And he
Okay,
did.
well, family
Yeah, I don't
show.
have a bleep button. I do not have a bleep button. I'm gonna go on the
I had
record
to
and
catch
say
it.
it
I was
now.
like, you know, it's one of the baddest songs he ever wrote. It's like, and it's got this like this beat, but it's like, yeah, no, it's deep. So we were talking about that. We were talking about like what's in our rotation. So it was really good. Right? It was like you talk about like, if we had a DJ to play the soundtrack for all the stuff that we had, and the people have iPods of hours of music. I didn't think to do that. It's like I have a specific like Prince iPod.
Mm.
I was like, really? Did people do that? And literally, people pulled them out. They're like, this iPod is from 19. I was like, whoa.
Wow, but he
And
has
I
that much
have,
music though, right? Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, he's got such a catalog that you could
I have,
actually have a hard drive with just, you know,
yeah,
Prince
94.
records.
So people don't know the band that 94 East was when even before he got famous. And I actually have those. And
Wow.
yeah, no. It's crazy up in here. My son was 2 weeks old before he did Good Morning America, when he was coming back out with Musicology.
Yeah.
And so I had him in the Baby Bjorn, and he was in the middle of the park in New York to go see Prince.
That's
That was his
dope.
first concert.
That's dope.
That's a story.
His
Yeah, man,
first
I don't play these
concert.
games.
That's what's up.
Mm.
Wow.
I don't play these games.
So we leave Minneapolis. Well, before we go to Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I was in Phoenix first.
Okay, so we'll talk about Phoenix as well. But while you guys are tuned in, make sure you hit the like button. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you join the room, say something. Say hello to Lucia, Lady Hollywood, and myself. But let us know that you are with us and kicking it with us live here on YouTube. So you left
Sunday
from
recap.
Yeah, Sunday recap. So you left from Phoenix. Did you wait? Where are you at originally? New York, right?
In New York.
Yeah, so I thought. Okay, so you left New York, went to Phoenix. Temperature there is
was freaking 72 degrees. The high was 74.
toasty.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
It was
man.
hot. It was nice. But at night, it went down to like,
It did.
really weird.
It did that California thing, right?
Temperature. Like
California
50s.
does that. Yeah, California loses about 30 degrees every night.
Yeah.
No, it's desert,
But no,
desert
and
weather. It's
that's how
hot
I got to
day
Phoenix.
and cold at night.
Yeah.
But that's how I got. That's why I picked to go to hang out in Phoenix with some friends. Again, I used to live in Russia, and so some friends of mine, my former roommates, are there. And so it was Alice Cooper's Christmas special. Don't like this weekend. You don't seem to understand the work I put in this weekend.
You don't know what she was really doing.
Mm-hmm.
I said the
She
work.
was stay
Lucia. I
warm.
said the
She was
work.
warm.
Yeah. Yes, it is a family program. So
It is, but it was the Alice Cooper Christmas special. I've never had oysters Rockefeller, but I'm a fan now.
really,
I had a very caramelized sweet potato tacos.
wow, that sounds. Wait, the sweet potato caramelized tacos is something different than the oysters, or is that
Yeah,
all
the
one
oysters
thing?
Rockefeller was that was one night, and then I had last night. I had sweet potatoes, caramelized onions with sweet potatoes. They were these beautiful tacos. Sorry, enchiladas, not tacos.
Ooh, that sounds great.
Oh my God, it was
No, it
sex on a
does.
plate. With
Sex
black
on a
beans.
plate.
It was sex on a plate. You know my food has to match. You know,
I get
if
it.
you
It's
just
all.
eating
Hey,
regular food,
it's
I can't
all
with you.
it. It's all the
You
thing.
got to be all in. Your food, your shoes, your clothes. Everything
Sex
has to be
on a plate.
deliberate. Yes, sex on a plate.
That's a song.
It is
Sex
See,
on a
Scrap?
plate.
Sex on a plate.
I hear it now.
See,
It's
I need
true.
that. I need that in F.
We use food analogies for
Everything.
pleasure all the time. Like
Ev-
when we talk about the difference between, you know, climax and orgasm is like, going to McDonald's for fast food and versus going to the French Laundry for a 7-course meal. So when you're really having what orgasm really is, which is energy instead of like just a quick crotch sneeze, it's like it's a different story.
Right.
It's a different story. It's like, do you want those chicken nuggets with that like
But
stinky
you want
ass,
chicken
like,
cordon bleu.
or do you want like, beautiful like morels dipped in like lightly flour and lightly fried, foraged that day from like the forest of Northern California.
No, I like I like a chef who thinks about like what you're gonna eat. So yeah. Fast food is over. I mean, it's just even starting to look bad. Even on TV, it doesn't look good anymore. Remember how they used to make food look really good?
Yeah, right.
They can't. Like those Arby's commercials almost make me hurl. They're like, we got the meats. I'm like, that's not the kind of meat I'm
We
looking
got the
for."
beef. The beef. Remember he said, we got the beef.
I'm like, "Ugh."
That's the one
And
with
like melted cheese looks like it just looks nasty.
With Ving
Food used to
Rhames.
look good. Yeah, but no, you should definitely have sex on a plate and sex and all, just they should all be at that pinnacle level, Scrap.
It's like that song, fuck me and feed me. I like that song. You heard that one? Fuck me and feed me. That one. Don't make me sing.
Yes. I mean, I'd like to think I'm up on all the new music, but I don't know that record.
It's a good one here. I'm gonna send it to you.
I'll listen on the private chat. I'd be so nervous. I'd be so nervous with y'all. Do you know that? I'd be so
What? This a man who hosts a room for thousands?
I know that's different. That's different. That's totally different though. That's totally different. Oh man.
I heard y'all. I've been in those rooms.
Yeah, they go pretty ham, man. They go pretty ham.
But you know what's funny? What is there? What like if everything were vanilla, Scrap?
I get it.
You couldn't have salted caramel. You wouldn't
appreciate the salted caramel.
Right. You couldn't have, like there's white chocolate mocha, but right now they have toasted white
I totally understand. I agree.
Yeah. Come on.
But sometimes you just want the vanilla. Like,
I didn't say there was anything wrong with vanilla.
No, she did not. She said it's almost like saying you can't appreciate the sun for the rain.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And Lord knows I like a good rain. Ain't nothing like curling up. And I watch football. Like this was an epic freaking weekend.
So so you didn't say. So you went to the Packers game or the Vikings?
So Vikings.
Okay, who were they playing?
They played the Lions.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. They did lose to the Lions, didn't they?
Yep.
Wow. It was like the one game the Lions won all season. What up, RJ? What up, Luxury? We're live on YouTube, y'all. That's the first game, like they haven't won anything all year. And for y'all to get beat by them is horrible.
Yeah, yeah. I was a fly on the wall. Neither one of my teams, but I was kind of, because you're there, you're like trying to.
Right. You want the frequency to stay up.
Everybody's in it. One thing that like New Yorkers we're cool, but we're not like
sold out. No, Minnesota,
we're
those
not like that.
They're sold out on the game.
Fan. That's fandom.
Purple
Like
faces.
when Cincinnati stormed the stadium yesterday for the college game.
Yeah.
Oh my God! They didn't even get the stage up so they could go get their like trophies. They had to do it on the ground because there was too many people on the field. They jumped over the wall. Nipperham or whatever that stadium is. They poured into they were salving at to have a win. It was like, yo, people don't stand in the way of hungry people who want some good sex, and football fans.
Boom. In that order?
Can't. No.
And a good meal.
Man. And a good meal.
Oh, people's money, their food, there's certain things you just don't stand in the way of.
Yeah, there's an
And I'm
order.
realizing football's up there now.
It absolutely is. Well, especially in certain places, right?
Yes.
You know, especially in the Midwest, upper Midwest. So it's like wrestling is huge up in those areas. You know what I'm saying? It's like they starve for event-based. Yeah, there you go.
That stuff, because you have to go to that stuff. So you get out of your house. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And we'll sit in the bar, and you can like sit in the bar, and everybody is concentrated on that damn game.
Yeah, stuck like Chuck.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I get off on the camaraderie of it all. I've met some of the best people in the world over football games. I've made a shit ton of money. Little side wagers.
Right.
Oh yeah, if you're ready to put your money up, you better get it. We can do it.
I love the weekend that you just had this past week. That sounds amazing.
I'm
for real.
exhausted.
You should be.
You got home and you were like, "Let's go live." I was like,
"No, you should be." Think about it. You did 2 different time zones.
Yes.
Through all of that, like, trust me. I did LA, and back in October I did LA for 5-6 days, something like that, and I did Chicago for 4 days. When I got home, I was all over the place. And I couldn't, I rhythmically, it was like, yo, how am I get back to where I was before I left? Because I felt very productive before I left, but I had to go be productive other places and then come back and then figure it out. And I can tell you, I'm still I'm just kind of now curving back to where I feel good. Like I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing in my life. But when I got back from then, I was like, yo, what am I supposed to do now? You know? I'm gonna see if Lisa wants to join it. Lisa, the link is at the bottom right there where it says youtube.com/ICGreen1.
Lisa?
Yep. Let me see if I can.
Oh, good. Lady Holly knows Lisa too.
Maya, you got to come to YouTube. You know, I'm gonna send a couple other people some invites. Let me send Lisa one.
Let's do that.
And y'all don't know it, but I sent. If this special guest come through, y'all gonna lose y'all stuff. Yeah, I got a special guest that I've invited.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be really. If this person shows up, it's gonna be hella interesting.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
Right.
They've kicked it before, but not live. They've come to the room and kicked it, but not live.
Right. That kind of night. I feel like everybody's.
So, let me see.
It's a good night.
Mia.
It's a good night to. This was perfect timing. Like when I was gonna call you anyway, Lady Holly, because I wanted to.
It's so funny. I was gonna call you.
I was like, okay, I was ready for the lowdown because there's so many things.
So it all just came together.
It did, Scrap. We thank you.
I mean, no, you know, we're connected though, so that I get it. You know what I mean? Like we're all connected, so I get it. It's not.
And that's what it was. I literally was going through social media because we're all connected. And Lucia had told me, I had seen the post from the two of you. Lucia had already talked to me about the fact that she had just stopped by and you guys had done the impromptu. And so I saw it, and then I saw you were live, and that's how I see all that connection. I went in Clubhouse, and I was absolutely bored out of my mind. I have no patience for Clubhouse anymore. Is that a bad thing?
No. I've been actually on there a lot in Single in the City and doing a lot of stuff with them.
Who that is?
So there's her name right there. So Maya, turn your phone sideways.
Yeah, you gotta go there.
Yeah, that'll give us. Yeah, there you go. Now you fit in.
That's perfect.
I like you have a toy named after you, Maya.
Oh yeah, she does.
It's the clitoral sucking toy.
You have a sex toy named after you called the Rose.
It's underrated. It's the most underrated toy of 2021. I'm going back on my word, taking it back like Billy Porter. The Rose is the shit.
Oh man. So yeah, everybody, this is Maya Rose, amazing singer, up and coming.
Maya. Woohoo.
Thank you.
She's from the South. Yeah.
Where?
Murphy, North Carolina.
North Carolina. I'm not from Compton.
Yes, ma'am.
You get the
I'm in
point.
Florida right now.
You said you slizzard right now? What'd you say? What'd you say,
I'm
Maya?
in Florida right now.
Oh, okay. You left again?
Yeah,
People are moving out here. People out here in these streets. Scrap.
Yeah, man. Clearly, they said y'all can travel, and
Everybody's like, bump COVID.
y'all are all over the place. Listen.
Yeah, I'm at a camp. I'm at a writing camp right now.
Oh, you did say you was coming down there for that. That's right. That's always dope.
So Maya, is Scrap producing you? What's are you working together or what? I want to hear the story.
We haven't yet. We have not yet.
But we will.
Yeah. So what? She has come by. Her and then another musician came by. Listen, vibed. Her voice is beautiful. But in that, I've been to, like I said, Chicago, L.A., Miami. She's been back and forth to North Carolina, back and forth to Florida. And the frequency of being able to link up has been just, you know what I'm saying, all over the place. So when probably in the new year, it'll be a lot easier, you know, to sit down and do some work.
That's good.
She's got an amazing voice. I'm sure she'll sing something in a little bit, but she's got an amazing voice. Look at her smiling.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
That's wonderful. Looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah. Now, Lady Holly and Lucia are gurus. So you're amongst these are the mamas of the house. Like they got you covered, and they are always, to me, they're gonna be, listen, they are your mentors and you don't even know it. But as you hang out, as you're in spaces with them, you'll understand, like, yo, all that wisdom has got to count, you know what I'm saying, towards your growth, and they're ready and available for it. So I vouch for them as your mentors already.
Thank you, Scrap. You know, made me think of this podcast I did at the January of 2019, and it was all about, you know, the whole Me Too movement had happened, and people were like trying to figure out like how to interact with each other around their sexuality and their pleasure. But the podcast I did was actually with a creative actress, and she wanted to talk about how sexual energy presents itself as you know, for people who are in the limelight, in the spotlight, whether it's like, you know, a musician or a comedian. And we broke it down. We broke down what that looks like, and why, you know, when especially for women, when we embody that energy, it's like what magnetizes people. Like, you see some people finesse their sensuality so beautifully. Like Sade was like a great example. She was so just sensual and elegant.
You saying was, Lucia, she is.
She is. Okay, let me say, she is. I'm thinking, all right, she is. She's one
I'm
of
thinking
these
she went
women
and
that
started
are
doing Christian
I know,
contemporary.
right? I know, right? Like, nah, she's still
forgive me.
Yeah.
Like, she's so eloquent in how she presents herself. She doesn't have to say anything about sex, but you know, she's just like oozing in that sensual, you know, connection with herself. And so, you know, in the music industry, like, this is this piece where I think a lot of women are really sexualized around, you know, just to get into the industry. And it really would put a damper on like what they're really there to do, right? They're wanting to like convey their souls through their voices. And so, but part of that is like attracting those people to you, not only through your voice, but how you actually carry that sexual energy. And it's not necessarily for sex, right? It's like really to be able to understand how to connect with other people and yield it in a certain way where it's also your protection field against those people who are going to like try to get to you in that level. So, I mean, how old are you, Maya? Are you like 20?
We'll go with legal, because we know we don't put the name that out there. We'll just say she's legal.
Okay, so you're legal. Okay, good. So we'll put that out there, and I think it's important, especially for young female artists,
Mariah
to
Carey
recognize.
was 21 for 7 years.
True story.
Yeah, recognize that, like, you know, when you get put in the spotlight, you know, being able to carry yourself, like, your sexuality is your potency, and how you, you know, how people are going to respond to you. You can light up the room just by being who you are and embody that energy. And it's like making love to the stage, making love to your fans in a totally different way.
I like you.
I like you too. Thanks for listening to my unsolicited advice. And Lady Holly, we're
Yeah,
just
my
speaking
baby.
the same language, you know. But
Yeah, no.
she's got a different version, I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah, no. I resonate with where you honed in on in that moment. I think, um, especially as a artist or as a performer, um, there's that ability to um, handle your serpentine energy and your kundalini energy in a way that, um, for me, I'm gonna bring it back to Prince because he was one of the best at it. Um, to give people a little bit of you, um, in these micro doses, so that they don't know everything about you, which keeps the flirt going, um, and the fantasy of it all going, and that is important. And hey, hey, and so for me, the uh, the tug of war of it all is why even Lucia saying Sade is one of those.
Yeah.
Um, Marilyn Monroe, like certain people have that thing, right? Um, and it is the more the intensity of it. So by the time Prince got to the Darling Nikki song and he was gyrating on stage, people, that whole moment was orgasmic for people, and that was that kind of heightened level of, even though from the behind the scenes part you're getting to know him in the movie, most people didn't know him,
Right.
and so to see him do that was like, like what? There's one, that Wendy is the water, that
It's a water woman now?
it's
Yes,
like that,
Wendy.
computer blue, like
Yes,
that whole
Lisa.
moment is nothing but a flirt,
Mhm.
right? And so, um, how do you get, that whole fabulous Baker Boys movement of how a songstress, how a Billie Holiday, even in pain, what protruded out of the pain was sex. You know what I mean? So that there is pain and pleasure, and there is this whole duality of being able to take people through the
I
flirt
think I'm there.
and the
I
dance
think
all the way to, um, how you are going to seduce them when you think about it,
Wow.
with your sound, with your vibe,
Maya,
with your energy.
Maya, you're still here. We see you. We can hear
Yeah.
you.
but I can't see y'all.
Okay, you
Oh,
you want to hang up and call back?
Yeah, I'm gonna call you back, okay?
All right, that's what's up.
yeah. Come on back in.
Shout out to Thriller. Thriller got the first super sticker. I appreciate it, brother. It's always good.
Oh,
Lisa.
Thrilla from
Yeah, Thriller
Clubhouse.
from Clubhouse. Yeah, he's here under the name Star
I've been.
Power HC.
Oh, hey, Thrilla. We've been modding some rooms in Single in the City together the past week. He's fun. I like
TV
him.
Amy, we're live on YouTube. Listen, I want to so LiSarah, I'm trying to figure out does anybody else hear the feedback a little bit? I'm not sure if it's because Lady Holly, you're fine, but I'm hearing a little feedback somewhere. Does anybody else hear it, or is it just me?
I don't hear it. I think it's just you.
Okay, cool. If it's just me, that's cool. Well, LiSarah,
It sounds like reverby, but I think it's good.
Ciao, bella, tutto a posto?
Sì, sì, certo, ciao bella.
Dove
Hey,
è
lady,
stato?
no
Dove è
hables, no
stato?
hables español un poquito.
No,
No,
italiano, parlano
Italiano.
italiano.
That too.
Italiano.
That too. Italiano un poquito.
Podemos hablar en
I
español
was like,
también, ¿sí?
no
Si
Esperanto,
quieres.
all of it.
Yeah, all them languages. Yeah, I don't speak it. I don't worry about me. I don't know what you are saying.
We need you to embrace it. I need you to get another language.
I'm going to have to figure something out. I know.
You owe it to the people to have a native mother tongue.
I do. No, I
and then
do owe
another
it to the
language.
people. I owe it like I owe like my bills. I owe it to the people.
You owe it to the people. No, but you gotta understand how the level of your songwriting. You gotta understand. We gotta get you another language.
Yeah, man. It's coming.
Yeah, man.
I can
You know, that
translate
whole-
anything into Spanish if you want. Like,
That's what's up.
yeah, I do that for people for sure. Like, But LiSarah, you are here. I can't
Yeah, what's
believe. No,
up?
first of all, I just want to shout out to LiSarah. If it wasn't for you, I would not know Scrap or be here, right? Because it's like coming upon my 1 year Clubhouse anniversary,
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and
nice.
it is. It's like I think it's like the 19th of December, and I remember that day. I was like, I can't get in. It was like back in the day of like panicking to try to get like who do I know that's on Clubhouse, like, and so Lisa immediately pinged me in. I was like, not for is moments actually, and I was like, suddenly found myself in the relationship expert showroom, and it was
Woo!
like,
History
what
in the making.
is going on? And then somehow Lady Holly ended up in there as well. And
Mm,
did we meet? We met in the relationship expert room.
Yes.
So, and it was like
nice.
suddenly, like, it was kind of like, God shone upon us and the seas were parted. And here was like my soul sister from, you know, another mother, and here we were, all of us, and now you two know each other, and we've all like gone on this path. We've been able to see each other, and twice now, Lady Holly and I in person, and then we fly out to Egypt at
Nice.
the end of February for like a week together.
That's gonna be dope.
We're
That's
Yeah.
gonna
going,
be
we're,
that's gonna
like,
be
not,
Mind blown.
but not only, but what's going on, Lady Holly? Let them know what's happening
What's
during that
happening,
time.
y'all? What's going on?
yeah. What's up? Tell
We're
us.
going to Egypt during what?
So we're going to
Mecca?
Egypt. So I decided, to hell with COVID. I'm living my life.
Right.
And so I do Egypt or Kemet every 2 years, right? And so when we were in Sedona, meeting for the first time in physical, Lucia and I and this wonderful crew called the Heart Space, we were talking about it, and so I said, well, we could actually do it together, because I'm going to go back. And so vortex jumping right now. Shout out to Continent Jumpers. So vortex jumping over the next 2 years to go to all the portals of the earth. And so Kemet this year is special in that it has the festival of light. And we're going to be in the temple of Abu Simbel for the festival of light in Kemet in 2022.
Wow.
So, and then then Mount Shasta, like, so there's all these different trips that'll happen over the course of the next year and a half while I bring this to closure. And just receiving all the information that there is to receive, and all of the wonderful caves and the drawings and the photos and the statues,
That's gonna be lit.
and channeling my ancestors yet again, because they're very present. And some people are going to microdose, some people are going to do gummy. I don't care what you do. The first time I did it, I didn't need anything. If that's what you need to
Nah,
get
you should
you
have
to a
seen
higher state of
Lucia. Hey, no, when
consciousness.
you said it, Lucia was like, "That'd be me."
Listen, I'm channeling my ancestors as well, because like, my ancestry is also North African, so, and Egyptians as well. So I'm like, we're going there for a reason. We know the fastest way to channel your ancestors is to tap into the mycelium and then get to the cosmic mycelium. It's like, if you don't know what mycelium is, please look it up. And so, it's a special time. And so doing it, and the great thing is, like, my like best friend of 36 years is also going to come with me during this
Okay.
time, and Kat's coming.
Nice.
Yes.
And I'm like, what? So for me, it's almost like a full circle in my own cycle. I turn 50 next year. It's a big year for me.
Ooh.
It's
Nice.
like, I'm going to be half a century old. And this is
Welcome.
like, for me,
Half a
it's like
century young.
young.
Right.
I
That
don't know.
part.
I'm like I said, the age process for me is reversing. And so this is my year. This is my year of like having all the things, starting a healing temple, and that's in the works already. 100%. Like, I have starting a community, like building you know, excuse me,
More
falling
ways
in
than 7.
love. All of it's happening right now. And I'm just like, I surrender.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
You
so I
know,
did it
I
for my 50th,
surrender.
and so yeah, so it's gonna. That was my bucket list. Actually, it wasn't even
Yeah.
my bucket list. I manifested that trip in a way because I knew I was going, but I didn't know what the parameters are. I always say I kind of spin globes and figure things out, right? Because I'm not afraid of anything. Like, and so 50 for me was my mom turned 80, I turned 50, and my youngest daughter, turned 14. So it was the 80, 14, 50 excursion, which was incredible because my mom was in a wheelchair, and so for most of it, and to have men carry her like up the barges on the Nile, like up
That's
the
what's
like
up.
there's nothing that my friends wouldn't do for her, and for her it was her first. She had been to Morocco. She's pretty
She's
well
traveled.
traveled,
Well,
but
clearly her
she
daughter's.
hadn't been, and so it was a bucket list trip for her. So
Well, her
yeah.
daughter is ridiculously traveled. I be hearing you talk about these names and stuff, and all I be thinking is like, one day we just gotta sit back and let you talk about your
We've
many
said that
travels.
19
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
We talked
because she's
every
been
time.
everywhere. Like whenever I always did, like when I was living in Russia, I think, oh, listen, no, listen. I think I'd be like, Lady Hollywood, and what's her name? What is her name? I just had it and you made me forget it. What's her girl name? You shouldn't have to blow your own horn, Marcus. What's it? Eartha Kitt. I'd be like, y'all gotta be related. That's what I think of when I think about all these travels and everywhere you've been. I'd be like, you have seen a lot. And those stories
what?
I could be would be lit. Yeah. Yeah,
No,
man.
because some people, you know what?
I
Some
see the
people get
correlation.
they sit in their box, and I love them because they sit in their box, and that allows more opportunities for me, right?
Yeah.
My grandmother was like Rosalind Russell and Auntie Mame, and she'd be like, "We're gonna go to safari this year," and because I was young, and my mom was working, and I had summers off. My grandmother was when she was retiring, she would take me with her. And so you talk about just a breath of fresh air to just know that you get your passport, and then that allows you to go somewhere.
That's dope.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Did he put your $1 million check in somebody else's box? It's like, punch a higher floor. Like, go. Yeah, like, go.
That's real.
Take the bus and go. I like drive across country. Know that you can, spin a globe and then manifest a trip. Like, I didn't know anybody in Russia, but I spun a globe. I set an intention. I held that intention. My girlfriend gets a call from the only, only DJ who was here in America who decided to go to live in Russia, who had just come off of back then. That was Jocelyn Brown. Like he was doing all this work, decided to go there, and he called her out of the blue.
Wow.
And then invited me to go.
Wow.
So yeah, no, once when I had gone to school overseas, so like once you start doing stuff like that, you get the bug and you don't stop.
You do get the bug.
Got another guest popping in.
Awesome.
Wow.
Deep Dish Dimples. Queen Goddess in the building. Love her dimples, right?
That's beautiful.
That's the for real deal right there. Turn your phone sideways, Queen. Turn your phone sideways. Yeah, so you can join the look.
Okay. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Yeah. No, she has not been drinking yet. I don't know. She smoked.
How you know?
There you go.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Yeah, it gives it a great aesthetic.
So
when Scrap has to edit, we're all the same way.
Right. So before Queen, what up, Sky? That's your people, Lucia, over in Jamaica.
Queen Goddess?
No, Sky.
Ooh, let me see.
Sky?
Yeah, the young lady that sings. Yeah.
Katanya. Hey.
Katanya, yeah. So before we continue, if you're in the room, if you guys have whoever's new to the room, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button. Leave a comment if you want, but definitely subscribe, turn notifications on, and get those likes going up. But Queen Goddess, what's up?
She, divine love, divine light, divine life is always in abundance whenever we in the presence. You feel me?
See there? All smiles all around.
Oh,
That's what's
That's
up.
wholeness right there. Scrap. How
Yes.
does it feel to have goddesses like around you, like you the king? You know what I mean? Like, do you feel that energy? Do you
Yeah,
get
I mean,
it?
listen, I've been blessed. I can tell you I've lived a blessed life for this not to be abnormal for me. Like, honestly, I've been very blessed to attract great people, and I know how to move and hold that space with people who are whose lights shine ridiculously bright. I think that's why I got light eyes, so I can really, what I'm saying, be able to pull that in. You know what I'm saying? God knew what he was doing.
Was it not us that told you to take the sunglasses off?
Yeah, I started. You know what? I got them around here though. I was feeling. I can always throw them out. They never too far. They never too far away. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't let everybody in there. Can't let everybody in.
This is true, Scrap. I agree. Like,
I'm guarded.
This is like, this is one of like the first things with like Tantra that we do, right? We do this eye gazing, and it's like that portal to the universe, through your soul. So I have to guard, Lucia means light, and she's a patron saint of light. So my eyes are very sensitive to that.
Dwight means bright.
Really?
Together we would be bright light.
No, the other way around. Light bright. Be light bright.
You're such a pro. Now I know you're my age at least, because that's a 70s thing,
What is light bright? Light bright is
like, you don't remember the light bright toys? They used to have light bright
I
toys.
love that, man. I love my light bright.
Wait, are you trying to guess Scrap's age?
And it had a song too?
No.
Yes.
It did have a
red light bright. You don't remember that?
Nah, man.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
But yeah. So wait, LiSarah, what does your name mean? Besides,
wait,
we can see you perfect. Whatever you just scratched off is on your side. We have no idea what you just did. Yeah.
Okay. It looks like.
I was like, what is she doing?
You look great. You look fabulous.
I appreciate it. Most of my guys are just showing up, and I look. What is that? There's a glow from my side. So.
Who's complaining about that? Embrace that glow.
Let your soul glow.
Yeah, right.
I
she'll be back. I'm sure it was something with her, with her phone. Somebody probably called or something. But yeah, there we go. Can y'all hear the phone when it's ringing? Can y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna add her back to the right. There she go.
There she is.
Okay.
The queen is in the building.
Turn the hot tub back on.
Ooh, the hot tub. Real
Yeah,
talk.
man, you're the last one that has to turn the bubbles back on.
Before I happened to go on IG and Scrap said, "Get out of here." I was about to run me a bath.
I literally just took a shower. I was just.
I had just taken a shower and got nothing. Yep.
Is that cool?
See how he gets us?
What up, Alexis? Well, while all you guys are doing that, just know Lucia was butt naked making ice cream. So
1 year now? You 1 year doing that?
Lady Holly sent me a text, LiSarah, and she said, "Hey, Scrap wants us." I'm like, "What? Like where? Like on IG?"
Oh my god!
And I was in the kitchen. I was like craving a sweet, and so I had this organic coconut bliss ice cream and some frozen raspberries and oat milk, and I like mixed up this like concoction right here. I was like naked in my kitchen, and I'm like, oh god, I was like, oh yeah, I want to be on, but then I was like, I gotta put some clothes on, and I had to go through that whole process of like, letting go of like this idea that I just had to put clothes on, right? And I did put a little lipstick on, but whatever.
Depends on how that camera angles were popping. You could have just been Nikki.
Right. It's like I thought of it and I was like, well, I also could take my own advice and like, let that sensual, sexual energy just like surround me quietly.
Just like from here.
I was like, okay, but this is what we're doing? Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, next time we'll do a bathtub version. Hot tub, bathtub. A tub version.
Usually I'm in the hot tub, right? But look
Yeah,
at
man.
us. I mean, Scrap, what a blessed freaking life you have. You have like literally 4 priestesses like right in front of you.
No,
Just
absolutely.
That's what I told him.
All
How does he do
very in tune with your spirituality, very in tune with yourselves, and know how to project it and get the best out of people. I'm definitely on a high. What are you saying? It's easy. This room is elevated.
I'm saying that I appreciate. This is what I'm saying. I appreciate when a man steps into that place where he acknowledges the divine feminine energy around him, because it blesses his life.
Wow.
You know, it blesses your life, and it's like, and there's nothing more I think that we want to do than as women than bless the lives of men who appreciate it.
I need you can continue, Lucia. You just need a little background music. Just wanna bless your life.
He's just gonna lay that soundtrack for you.
I wanna bless your life.
Let's give you that touch back.
You know, I must be falling in love if I'm like talking like this, because when it's just how it's a reflection of my life. Lady Holly's like, what?
Right. So what'd you say?
Yeah, I also have like a.
What'd you say?
I like LiSarah's like, you and I haven't talked in a bit, and
We haven't. That's true.
So catch us up, Lisa. What's been going on?
Oh, from my end, let's see.
Yeah.
I live at the ocean now. I love the ocean. I needed this bath because. Oh, where'd Lady Holly go? Oh, Scrap dipped out. Okay. I go squirrel. I'm like where'd everybody go? Okay. Yeah. I moved.
You Lisa, the stage will change a whole lot. Just be patient. It's a show.
Okay. Wow. Okay. We're in performance. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I've never been on this before. This is fascinating to me. I had no idea how to get here, but I think the biggest change might actually just be my name, which is part of an initiation that came with this birthday of mine, which was in October. And Scrap, you asked what LiSarah means. So I was born and given the name Lisa, which means in Hebrew, consecrated to God or promise of God. And what I discovered is that, wait, are people here?
We get. This is where you get the center stage while you tell your story. I'll bring everybody back, but that's where
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
focusing on you.
You're right.
I love it regardless. I'm just like, what?
Focus on
you. I'm giving you a full on production moment.
I love it. I appreciate you. I appreciate
you. I'll bring everybody back. There you go.
You can put them. I get how it's going now.
She got it now.
Lisa's like, I don't like this improvisation that's happening right now. You guys are gonna have to do something else.
I just need to flow. The second time. What do they say? Second time's the best. First time.
Ooh, second time's a charm.
The first time talking about
So you,
second time around. Yes.
Actually, it's funny that you asked, Scrap, because that's not something I actually planned to share about the meaning of the name, but especially since y'all met me, most of you met me before my name changed. Basically, what I realized, I thought I was being super methodical, but I realized that this name has actually always been for me, LiSarah, and it's basically my lineages. So the Sa representing Sarah, who was my grandmother. I come from a line of medicine women, so she was, and Lucia's interacted with her in her passing, actually, which was a massive activation for my entire family, and initiation into us embracing our intuitive gifts more strongly and really using them for good in the world. And the Ra part, so it is bisyllable. The Ra is, and I maybe should really be on this trip to commit, but Ra is Ra.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So my soul lineages of Isis, and yeah, which I'm still really understanding the depths of, and learning how to be mentored by them, just as I'm mentored by my grandmother on the other side. And it was actually really interesting when she passed, when my grandmother Sarah, I called her Mimi, when Mimi passed in 2019, my whole relationship to death shifted. And I remember people who knew me and her texting and saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I know she meant so much to you and you must feel so terrible," or whatever. People said some weird stuff. But I was sitting there, I remember reading these texts, and I didn't feel bad. I was so connected to her. I'm still so connected to her. And it was my first time realizing that death doesn't necessarily mean an ending. It means a transition, a transformation, a
Wow.
transmutation.
Yeah.
And I actually really love that you both spoke, Lady Holly and Lucia spoke about Kemet, about Egypt, because just last week, um, a friend of mine who's in Egypt right now had this post, and it was just so relevant for me. I needed to see it. She was doing whatever, some touring around pyramids, etc. And, Egypt is so known for mummification, how they have the mummies and the
Mm-hmm.
pyramids, right? People who don't know anything about Egypt, they know mummies.
If anything
And
else,
so,
yeah.
right. And so this person posted um, her interaction with her tour guide, which was, why are these people so obsessed with death? Is what she asked the tour guide. And the tour guide said, "No, no, you're wrong. They're preparing for eternal life."
Right.
And when I had never made that connection with death, and it makes so much sense that my own relationship to death has shifted so much, because I feel that, I experience that, I have this embodied experience of that. And to understand that things aren't ending, that they're transforming, and what does it mean to be eternal, is a big part of my personal journey. I think also my musical journey, as well as, I don't know, I imagine I'm in great company here. So I imagine some of y'all have thought about this as well. But just in terms of where the collective is going right now, and the elevation of human consciousness, and like
Right.
Schumann resonance increasing, right? Literally the frequency of the planet increasing right now. It feels like there's a space where this discussion can kind of come a little bit more into the mainstream of, and then when you think about Western culture as well, we've always had a negative connotation around death. Death is sad. Death,
Always.
it's the end. We should do everything to avoid it at all costs. And there are so many places in the eastern part of the world where death is seen as a part of the journey, and really celebrated in a way that I don't believe we in the West have embraced or even understood yet. So,
I'm sure it changes the way you participate in life. You know what I mean? When you look at things from that perspective, your journey has to be different, because what the next step is not an ending step. It's a new beginning. And when you can approach it like that, you kind of you understand that you have to leave this existence empty. Like you have to do all, like, that's why I love hearing your story, lady. Whenever you talk about traveling, that's a huge part, I believe, of filling your soul is by consuming as much of this environment that you can, with all the different kind of collectives that are out there to help you expand and elevate your mind, your sight, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, all those kind of things. So I love that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's interesting. So I don't know. I always thought it was our California Latina roots of going home ceremonies. I don't dig funerals. I don't do well around um, the human. Um, I'm the void of I'm gonna miss that person so much that I'm in this grief, versus releasing and remembering all of the good, all of the times that you had to spend. And we do this piece in my family, like if you had something to say to someone who passes away, you write them a note. and then you burn it so that they can get it
Mm.
on the other side.
Mm.
And that's it from a egoic state part of the process. Like we don't sit in that state. We don't put I don't ever if anybody ever comes to if I go home and you see my body, then beat my kids' ass because that is not what I told them to do. We're supposed to be having a whole
I will
house
remember
party,
that.
beat
Literally.
their ass because I would get up out the thing and beat their.
That's funny.
But you're not that my body. No, first of all, I'm donating whatever's
Available.
like in terms of like my body parts and stuff. But then I'm being turned into a diamond because we are carbon-based life forms. Or five diamonds, or now it's 10 because I got grandkids. So I'm trying to figure out how that's gonna work. Um, and then and then a little bit for some ashes over some strategic places, which is to force my kids to take some trips, right?
That's dope.
Because that's part of me. And so if we're not partying, then you're doing me a dis if we're not having a day party, something's wrong. But
Right.
yeah, like I no sadness. There cannot be any sadness associated with my death because I'm gonna ascend. Therefore, I'm only going back into the frequency, which
Totally.
means you can talk to me at any time, which
Mm-hmm.
means I'm an angel all day, every day.
Boom.
So your physical limitations that you want to place on how you value me, that's your ego. My
Mm.
ego, I don't, my ego works for me. I don't work for my ego,
Mm.
not the other way around. And so for me, that's why I don't do the like. And people go bankrupt for this casket and the process and what is that about? Like I don't even understand it. Versus being very deliberate about how I want to how I want to, go. And even like sitting Shiva on the Jewish side, like I like that better. Like let's pray about it. Let's
She said,
have
"I like
this.
that better."
Yeah, like if we're gonna do it, don't they don't do the flower. You don't send flowers because flowers die. Like don't send more death. Send a plant. Plant a
Right.
tree. My
Yep.
my
Exactly.
stepdad, his ashes are underneath the tree in my life. Like we know where he is. He's in this beautiful spot. If you really feel it, that if you need to go to like if you do like a mausoleum and a headstone and like I gotta go somewhere because in my mind I think that's where you are. I missed your life.
Mm.
Mm.
Mhm.
I missed the meaning of your life if
Yeah.
that's where you gonna put yourself.
Hmm. You
That's
know,
it. That means you already in death have placed limits on how you viewed you. Nah, fuck out of here.
And then truly, you get to that once you get to the point of understanding or understanding within your journey that death is just a transitionary process of energy. Like for myself personally, I've been actually like I've been to, and through death, a couple times this lifetime. And I'm just like thankful that I was able to have the experience because one thing it taught me is no matter what like the situation is that may bring that, process to you, it's literally like an astral projection. It's like your
Mm,
soul knows what's going to happen before it happens. So like no matter how traumatic or whatever the case might be, like you literally won't feel it. But the most impactful part for me was when I had to deal with that not that long ago, like a couple years ago. It was something whereas though at that point I was just given this option that says, do you forgive or are you gonna live with this for the rest of eternity? And I'm in my shit like, all right, what you about to do? Like I was like, I forgive. And sure
that's
enough,
right.
as soon as that I forgive, I was brought back into this realm of what we call existence. And I was just so thankful. Like now I can go tell everybody, like this thing
That's
is like
right.
a cyclical cycle, and being grateful for the moment, even in what they consider death, like it's not an ending at all. You literally go, your energy goes to something else, and where
Right.
you choose to be, where you choose to place that will be, where you will go. So for myself, like this last year, I lost my mother and my grandmother. Well, they say lost, I didn't lose them at all. And I was actually sitting meditation yesterday, and the thought it came to me like, like I was kind of thinking back about, some things my grandmother and stuff, would be doing around this time. And I'm just like, you know what? Don't get pulled into that cycle. I can hear her in the back of my mind, like, I've been here the whole time. And I'm just like, I know you've been here the whole time, because literally, if it wasn't for that process, of me enjoying the moments that we had together in life, even
Yes.
for my mother, I never would have taken, any of this for the fruitfulness that is. They say with the salt of life, but sometimes having too much salt to have your pressure up. You get what I'm saying? Like, you be thinking about flavor everywhere, but it's serendipitous to get to a point of clarity and understanding, and knowing that, like, literally everything comes with purpose, not with price.
There
So
you go.
I'm excited about that, and truly, since they've been, my
Wait,
attendant man,
Queen, go back and say that what you just said. Everything,
I'm vibing.
the purpose and price
Purpose
thing.
in life, purpose, not price.
Say it one
Right.
more time. It cut out a little bit.
Everything in life comes with purpose, not price.
Boom.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely.
Right there.
When
And your
um,
testimony is absolutely why you're supposed to do that.
Hmm.
you get
Because
you get
in
to
the
a point within yourself, and for some, that strength of just having inner peace within yourself is just, it forces people to heal. It forces people
mm-hmm.
to look at things for exactly what they are. This too shall pass, literally. So at the end of the day, and at the beginning of the rising, you have to realize that you're almighty, you're all powerful, and everything that comes towards you is for the embetterment. If not you, it's for the embetterment of something or someone,
Mm-hmm.
else. And just always live your life righteously, so you don't die in vain.
There you
It'll
go.
get pulled back into this matrix cycle. If y'all want to go into that conversation, y'all know how
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Punch a higher floor. Dun, 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 dun. What?
Mm-hmm.
When the world starts to break you down, go crazy.
Well. So
you know
let me just bring it back a little bit. So Lisa,
Yes.
what was your week like this week? Because this is the weekend review, but I love how I'm just, I don't want to, you can't bottle this or contain it, so you just got to roll with it. And when there's an opportunity, Lisa, how was your last? So it's a weekend review. What did you end up doing this last weekend? If you missed out a little earlier, I don't know if you were tuned in, but you missed out. Lady Hollywood has had an amazing weekend chilling in Minnesota and Phoenix.
Minneapolis.
But it's still Minnesota, right?
No, I know. I'm just messing.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go to the whole state.
I know, right? LiSarah, how was your week?
It was good. This death conversation is super relevant because I had the conversation with Nathan, my husband, because I talked about this thing around death, and I was like, but if you died, I would be lamenting. Like, talk about ego. Like, I need touch, y'all. My love language is touch. Like, I need all the goods that come with this touch.
You'd be doing it in the arms of an angel.
Okay.
Yes. And like the flesh. I need the flesh in all the places. Y'all know what I'm saying. But in addition to that, I was about to go. Actually, that was yesterday. This counts. I had.
She said this counts.
The best sex last night.
Literally.
Okay.
Amen. Hallelujah. Namaste. And
Well,
Yes.
all right.
So did I.
All right.
But you know what else happened yesterday? This is super random. So I moved to this area.
Sex
I
was
live
on
in,
deck yesterday,
Monterey
Jack.
County.
So wait, LiSarah, take us back.
Well, let me take you back. A few months ago, we've gathered here to be at the ocean in Monterey County, California, middle of the California coast.
I can't with this sound.
Yesterday, before the sex happened, I gotta tell y'all, this is hella random.
Okay.
So,
Because the shouting out about sex wasn't random at all.
I hope not. Look, I'm looking at faces I know here. Talking about sex is the least random thing that could happen in this conversation.
You know what you were getting into. You did not stack us on top of each other. Like,
we're gonna talk about
haphazardly.
sex.
This was a
We're
planned
in a girl
deal
pile
here.
right now. Like,
Lucia is among the first, if not the first person I call to talk about sex.
All right.
For real.
Lucia and I've been talking about sex all weekend.
Or ancestors and dead people. So
and
it's like it's all good.
So here we go.
Yeah, I think we kind of.
We have been texting about sex since what, Thursday?
No, since forever.
That's cute.
Life
Yes.
vibes. But I want to hear about the best
Come on,
sex, because
LiSarah.
look at me, I'm like coming inward going,
I know, I'm like,
because
inquiring minds want to know.
I'm having no sex right now, and I'm like, what?
What?
Lies.
What?
Lies.
None?
You're just having a pause.
Why are
It's
you
a
Right.
sacred pause.
It's like just it's like a quick
That's dope,
reset
Jill.
for a week,
It's a minor pause.
for a very minor pause.
Pauses are good. You know, in music, right, when there's that break,
A
like the
rest.
bridge builds you up and everyone's just waiting for that drop, but in between that moment, there's the
I
pause.
know. It's
Yeah.
it's been wonderful. It's been a Lucia week. But LiSarah, tell us what happened at the beach, the sunset.
So what's really helpful for context is actually what happened before it. So as mentioned, I'm new to this area. And both my husband and I are musicians, so just been, connecting to the local community, especially because this is a small place. It's not LA, right? So you got to work a little to find the people. And somehow I connected with a company called, well, I don't need to give them a shout out, but basically they do singing telegrams. And so someone said, hey, can you come to this house and sing for 5 minutes? And I'll give you whatever, some low amount of money. But because I am moving into music and really wanting to just practice performing, I'm like, yeah, cool. This thing was a congratulations party for 16 and 17-year-old softball girls. It was like some softball, whatever, some softball team. And I was given the task to go there, hand out some balloons, and sing Meghan Trainor's song. And it was so funny. So I get up to this door, beautiful, it's actually double doors, beautiful large home. And as soon as I hit the doorbell, it's just like girls screaming, as if a celebrity had just shown up, as if Beyonce had just shown up. And
a celebrity did show up. What are you saying?
Touche, thank you.
Yeah, links are right there at the bottom. Yeah,
They
your
don't know
celebrity
yet.
showed up.
I told those girls before I left, I was like, y'all gonna see me. But anyway, it was like, I was lit. And so also for context, this area is like mellow, low key, a lot of older people, like much older, elder people live here, right? So I'm so used to just being in nature. It's calm and quiet. So to get to this door, and I was holding the balloons as guided, and there's just, just screaming, gave me so much energy. So I was only there for a few minutes, right? Because I sung this song, and then someone had a birthday, so I sang the birthday song. But when I left there, I was lit, okay? I just got like this infusion of energy I haven't had in months.
Wow.
Because since living here, it's been like mellow beach days and the wilderness and shit. And so I'm like, whoa, like just lit on a Friday night. And so my man asked me to pick up some chocolates. I was like, ooh, chocolate. And then, we had actually had Lucia. We had a little pause. Not this week, but the week before that, and like the 2 weeks before that. So we've just been like all week, like, when do we have a moment where you aren't doing something and I'm not doing something, so we can do something?
The build up.
Yes, yes. The build up was real.
It's so fun to build.
I know, right?
But can I just talk about what I was wearing? Because it was amazing. I wish I could put it on for y'all. But
you can if you got a picture. Do you have a picture you can show us?
I don't have a picture.
Man, you tripping.
We're really about the spontaneous moments. So, oh, thank you, girl. Someone said this sounds amazing. Good. It was. It is. It will be. It's all
That's
the
funny.
things. But no, so I'll order some stuff and just kind of keep it away, and then in this random moment just bring it out and put something on or whatever. So I had this gold chain. He went and got in the shower. I put on this gold body chain that just like draped all down perfectly around here. It made like perfect triangles around here and then draped down the back. And then I was like, oh, but I want something else on top of it. So I like ran to his closet and got one of his white crisp shirts. So when he came back in the room, I'm like, who's listening to this? How deep do I go right now?
You're fine. You're fine.
Keep
We're here.
going. Keep
We're
going.
tuned in.
Just tell the story, girl. Tell
Shout
the
out to
story.
the folks
Like
listening.
Showtime next to do it.
But anyway, y'all know I love talking about sex. So,
If they
yes.
didn't, they know now.
They do. I do. Y'all know now.
We know.
And so I buttoned one spot right here in the middle. And then I have this paddle. And so I literally got on the bed on all fours, put the paddle next to me so that when he opened the door, when he got out of the shower, you know, and dried off, whatever, came to open the door, he would just see me, my ass, the paddle. Tell him what to do with it. I had a great time. The music was playing.
Shit, because I have seen your ass, and I'm just like, oh my
I
God.
know you're gonna dig this.
It was just wonderful, and he's amazing at what he does. So actually, I don't know if Strap knows this. Lucia and I met years ago in the coaching community. And when I started off as a coach, I started off as actually a relationship coach. Hence why we always talk about sex.
Right.
Relationship. But I remember, because, you know, when you are doing a business and you're marketing, you're telling stories, it's really, especially for a relationship, right? You're going to talk about the person you're in a relationship with. And so I remember pretty early on, boundaries matter a lot to me, right? That's a way that we both demand and give respect, is to set our boundaries and to understand someone else's boundaries. It's consent. It helps build loyalty, trust, etc. So I wanted to check in with him on what are the boundaries of, in this case, of what I could share.
You can't handle the truth.
And he was like, you can share anything, everything, whatever, as long as they know I'm good in bed. I was like,
right,
okay.
right.
So
That is it. Yeah, I get that.
About, but sure.
You can't be going live dogging him out. Like, you know what? He has to learn a thing or two.
We've had those
That would
nights
be a
too,
bad look on me if you're like, why are you getting with someone who can't fucking do what you want?
Yeah, that'd be a real interesting look.
Yeah, so he is amazing at, I was gonna say going to the restaurant. I don't know why. Eating.
We understood what that meant, though. We did.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Liz?
We understood what that meant, though.
Okay. That's where my mind went. Probably because I also just made dinner. But
because we were talking about food and sex earlier, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Food and sex are so relevant.
Right?
Pleasure,
Yes.
right? It's like your pleasure and what you need to feel satisfied and fulfilled. So
Scrap's starting to get it. We're trying to convince him.
I'm not convinced. I get it. I get it. I'm not eating no oysters, but I get it. I totally get it.
But for you, it's an aphrodisiac.
Wait, you're not
for me,
eating
oysters? It's like a energy dose. It's a different thing. Go home and want to rearrange a whole damn closet.
Taste. Oysters are an acquired taste.
They are.
Do you drink that?
For me, oysters.
It don't make no motherfucking sense.
I'm not doing
this from a man who eats sugared cereals all day.
I mean, I'm a serial killer. What can I say?
Yeah.
And drink Mountain Dew.
And I don't drink Mountain Dew, and I only did that for the commercial that it was an impromptu commercial, and she won't let me live it down. I had 4 sips. 4 sips of Mountain Dew, and I don't even drink pop like that. And it wasn't half a bottle, it was like a quarter of a bottle.
That's a lot of qualifying. You can just say you had it once, and then that was
I didn't even, but it don't really count because I only had like a little bit. So, and I posted tomorrow. I'm gonna post it tomorrow. Y'all will see it was very impromptu, and I just felt like doing it. And then next thing you know, I get a text. You know you shouldn't be drinking.
Being healthy.
You know, what are you putting into your body, sir? Like,
she coming through. That's
right.
She cared.
No, and I knew that. I got that. I totally understand and respect that. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny, but she was like, you know what I thought about? Y'all all sing Clueless, right?
Yeah.
Remember the part where she won the case at the end? I heard Queen saying, well, every girl knows that you don't put the amanathathaklai with the... that when you jump out the chair, that the amanathathai would stop the hair from doing the whole little speech she gave to win the whole thing. I was like, oh my God, she's breaking this whole thing.
That's not Clueless. you're talking about
Pretty
Legally
no,
Blonde.
Legally Blonde. That's it.
Legally
I'm sorry.
Blonde, right.
Yeah, my bad. Same girls though, right? No. No. I'm sorry. Legally Blonde.
Other blonde women.
No, Legally Blonde and the ending. The most funniest part to me. Every time I hear somebody explain something to me, I always revert back to that where she says that about the ammonium thalocthalide or something like that. It's like the funniest line ever.
It
I
is.
remember that.
So she hit me. She hit me with that for the for the Mountain Dew sip.
Yeah, because they said
You know what? Thank you,
like,
Queen Goddess, for like.
days or something. Like, I'm like, no, I don't drink that shit.
You know, I got him on the cereal. You got him on the
Yeah.
pop. We good. We tag teaming.
And both of y'all ended it with.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
So has anyone ever done third eye awakening after orgasm?
Wait a minute. What time is it?
Well, it's
What time
part
is
of it, right? Because our clitoris is directly connected.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
I knew he was looking for something. I'm like, we gotta jump in.
Hold on. We can't. Hold on. Wait. That's all I'm hearing right now. Okay.
We're ready.
Okay, we're not ready for that yet. Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
What? Yes, you are. This
my
is
God.
like your moment to
No, because
expand.
it was.
It's okay. So
LiSarah's in this moment, and I was trying to make sure.
I want to correlate our conversation around death. You know, there was a moment. So I was present to supporting a friend at the end of life. Can we talk about death and correlate?
Yeah. I mean, the bridge you're creating here. I'm trying to figure out what material you're using to make this bridge.
Like a bridge.
I know, right? Over trouble.
We need a dance bridge, right?
She's like, is it okay if I bridge death and sex? And all I can think about is, listen, all I think about is that the point of orgasm that we actually, our heart stops beating. And, I thought about that. I'm like, is that where she going with it? But
it's part of it.
Okay.
So they do call, so let's just say climax and orgasm is energy.
Lucia has the floor.
Okay,
Yes,
climax is like the end. So when climax has been referred to le petit mort, right? The small death. So there is a moment where when you are in climax, where your heart freezes for a moment, your breath is taken away, your body is flooded, with blood, because all the blood rushes to your genitals, and your pineal gland opens up, right? Basically, you have a moment where you get to actually be in oneness with the divine, with your divinity. Now, when I was, supporting somebody at the end of life process, and right at the moment of his passing, the room was so still and the energy was so thick that I could feel him receiving so much love, because we were all embodied in this love. It's so expansive, because when you die, when you leave, let's just say when your spirit leaves the vessel, you have to be willing to surrender and receive so much love that you can let go. And when he let go and we were surrounding him, and take it at this point, I had been studying extended orgasm and in heightened states of consciousness, right? My body felt that moment, and I lit up as if I was receiving his energy, like orgasm. And I always say orgasm is the breath of God, because it's energy, and it truly is. It sustains us in so many ways. So having that energy move through my body while he was passing reminded me so much of being in that heightened state of orgasm. I wrote this whole beautiful passage about his death as one of the most sensual experiences of my life, so likened to that heightened state of being in extended orgasm, because I was able to feel in that moment what it felt like to be in the highest state of like love and gratitude. Like I was like, I changed my mind around death. I'd always had a lot of fear around death. In that moment, I had no more fear. I had no more fear. And I think, if we took that kind of energy, when we're with a partner, oftentimes we come to relationships with all of our shit, all of the fears of like what could happen. And since that time, like when I think of that moment, like my fear dissipates in relationships. So I come, people, it's difficult to be in a relationship with me because I don't I just wear my heart on my sleeve and I just come as I am. And I find all the things that I find you perfect, and I find the things I love about you. People know this about me that have been with me. I'm just like, I'm here. I love you. That's it. Like I don't have to go through the process of deciding whether or not I'm going to fall in love with you. I just choose to love. I just choose to love you. And that can be really intense because it's not how we're taught to do relationships. It's not how we're taught to like, have sustainable connection. And but it is the way I believe that we're actually supposed to be here on this planet as. Like we are love. And when we come into that, that's the place when we understand our sexual energy, when we understand and embody that to that level of awareness, not for the sake of, fucking everybody, but for the sake of being in the capacity of connecting mind, heart, body, and spirit. We fall in love with ourselves, and then we can just be love. And that's how we reflect each other. That's how Lisa and we like met, and what it was like that. She looked at me in the eyes and I looked at her in the eyes like, all right, we're good. And same thing with Lady Holly. We spoke, we're auditory, she listens, she hears the sound, and we were speaking the same language. And then it was like, our first connections were just like that. Like, oh, there you are. And, she's like super, super tall and I'm super short. So like, I'm like, I love you.
That's funny.
And just wait till we get our asses out to Atlanta for your book launch, Scrap.
That part.
In January,
What's that?
Yeah,
where
man.
I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm like, get my ticket. And like, and now Queen Goddess, when you were speaking about your experience, my body lit up and I was like, okay, I know why Scrap brought her on, because she was the missing link for the conversation tonight. It's like, because she's at that state too. And this is the way I want to be interacting in my life. I don't want to be talking about any other, mediocre shit in my life. It's like,
no more
life
mediocre
is too,
for me.
yeah, no more mediocre. Not in the bedroom, not in the boardroom, none of it.
Right.
Oh, Jill says she's crying. This is what we do, because
Yes, I think she's cracking up is what that is. I think she's
yeah, laughing.
Yeah, and
Crying.
I mean,
laughing and crying.
it's a very
laughing, crying, laughing. Okay, good.
No,
As
the
long as
room
you're
is
laughing, crying.
the room is a roller coaster of emotions though. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's been this, you know what I mean? And but all deep. It's none of this has been in the shallow end, which is really cool. And it never is when we talk. I think that's one of the things that people really
love you.
I think that's I think it's not me. I think they love you guys because you're so knowledgeable, well traveled, well, experienced, and that you communicate so well and in a way that it makes people just want to stay and listen, and understand and join in. I think everybody who's been hanging out with us tonight is engulfed. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we speak to people and you see, not us, you see speakers that speak and they try to speak on the people, whatever, and their points, and it's like they're forcing it. But the way that the information in our rooms usually just spill on the people, it gets all over you. You know what I mean? And it's hard to get it off. And we hear people singing the praises. Yeah, spill all over you.
It's all over me.
That's
but that's the difference of when you're coming from your authenticity and your heart space, right?
Yeah.
So if one thing I'm never going to be, this is not performance art, right? You're catching us at pure moments of just authenticity, like you're
Yeah.
catching us in our real 3D essence moment, right? And then we take it wherever we take it because of usually the subject matter, which usually our base common denominator would be kundalini energy, right? And then we go from there. Like usually that's how we get onto the first diving board at the big pool, and so and then we dive off the diving board with you. And I feel like it's the Olympic moment, right? Because we have to look really good. You know, if I'm going to do a visual, it's going to be
That's
a visual
funny.
all the way, ladies. We're going to look good doing it. And then, you know, so the next diving board is usually wherever you take the build to, or
Right.
sometimes you nudge the build scrap. Sometimes you're like, all right, ladies, burp, burp. You blow the whistle. You're like, we're going to go to here.
Time out.
You get on the blocks. And you're like, okay, let's see who's coming out the gate. Let's see who's coming out the gate.
That right. See, my cousin is in the chat. I don't know if y'all see him in the chat. We are not discussing that question tonight. Y'all might want to write it down and keep it. But do y'all see the question at all, or am I the only one who sees this question?
These things. Where do I go to see it?
Okay, so here's no. Okay, so just so you guys know, this broadcast does Facebook, Twitter,
right.
LinkedIn, Restream, Twitch,
right.
YouTube.
Too many.
Right. So when a person comes up and says something or comments on one of those other networks, like, okay, clearly he's on Facebook, and he's the only person that's communicated on Facebook, but he's asked a question. I'm not going to repeat it. I don't even want to post it. Like, I can broadcast it so y'all can see it, but it's not a question for tonight, and I don't know. It's not a. It's yeah.
We have brought a lot of energy to this.
I'm just saying.
Right
so
now.
yeah, because so this is question, and I'm taking it off right now. Is this that quick?
Oh, it's a climax. It's a climax.
But no. Time out. I prefaced everything to say we're not going to talk about tonight. Lucia was like, "Hey, you know what?" now that I see the question,
because she was like, "It's an easy question."
Lucia was like, "Ooh, I know the answer to this one. Ooh."
See, this is that stuff.
Oh man. So
you know what happens when you tell someone not to look.
I know, right? Lucia is that. Like Lucia is like, oh, there it is. So no, it's definitely a conversation.
Give him my link.
It's a conversation for another night, but on that night, and we'll choose we can choose what day did we do before? Was it Wednesday? What night was we really spicy before?
Wednesdays?
We did a night. Tuesday. No, we used to do a night that was super saucy. Thursday nights, yep. Thursday nights was super spicy, yeah. So maybe
Thursday.
So
you got it.
So Thursday maybe we'd do something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great question. You know what's really interesting is how old is your cousin? Like what?
He's about 22. 20. Yeah, he's between 22 and 32 or something like that.
No, but see that's so you don't understand how many people
don't know the answer to that
age range.
Yeah,
have that same damn question.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
and that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's So everything happens for a reason, right? So we had this conversation in the bar in Minneapolis as I was trying to get my get my meal on so I could get home. We're finishing up the game because now I had to leave so I could get to this flight, and so these women were talking about over sexualization of. So say for instance she was calling out names like Cardi and Megan, she was just like, and so she was like, at what point do we get back to being feminine? And not bringing our penises to the table. And well, I said that part, but it was this conversation. It was look, Clyde. My inner Kyle is real, and I know when my testosterone is high. I could be a dude just like the rest of y'all. And I do say I don't claim to have a penis, but I'll be like, when you find my penis, please suck that dick. Sorry, scrap.
I'm there for you, Lady Holly. I'm there.
You know
for
what I mean?
you.
100%. Yes.
But yeah, but when do we like this over sexualization to the point where, And I get it. I understand because we're talking about so many things. We're talking about the trial. We were talking about because I have been that young person. I went with the older person because so we were going through like, how does this work? How do you co-sign this? At what point, is there plausible deniability? At what point, like, oh, so we went into this whole conversation. It was absolutely a great build. And so, the younger ones sometimes don't know some key critical things that they should know. And, I guess at some point we got afraid to have
Real
conversations around
conversations.
sexuality at
Yeah.
school.
Totally.
People aren't having them at home because they're lying to themselves at home because they
Right.
don't know what their pleasure is and they don't understand how to
Right.
define their own sexuality. So just because you procreate doesn't mean you know your sex
No.
and know what kind of sex you want to have and know where your boundaries are and know and understand consent and know when, you know, you know, to not have mediocre sex just for the sake of having mediocre sex.
Right.
And everybody doesn't have a WAP, right? And everybody doesn't, they can get there. Or even knowing that you got like 20 to 40 minutes to get a WAP, right?
Right.
And so that one meme where he was like, well, I guess I never had charged a ready one. um, but those conversations need to be had. And if you're the relationship room, these are the relations that the grown people get in the relations scrap. We get into the
Nah,
relations.
for sure.
And then we got into this vulnerable moment of the entanglements and the the switch of the divine masculine understanding their feminine energy.
Mm.
It was
Mm-hmm.
amazing. We had a plane, like, just we had a it was a great conversation.
No, clearly.
But these are the conversations that are so prevalent now because we've oversexed everything. Everything. You can't get a French fry. You can't even now. Have you seen the commercial with the booty inflating? And I was like, what is this? Like, what am I watching? Like, what are we talking about? This cannot be selling a French fry. Like, is it a Target? Is it a scrub pad? Like, what are we selling that has to be over sexualized? And
What
and
was
and
the
this is where
commercial?
we
Is
then
a
put our
booty
young people.
inflating French fry?
I don't know what it was, girl. I couldn't even. I was like, what am I
It was a hot
watching?
mess,
But
whatever it was.
everything is either it's oversexed, or it's charged with this innuendo, and so it's in your face. And so for as much as we say we're conservatives and we don't want to do X, Y, and Z, and we want everybody to be wholesome and have values, well, we're throwing sex at everything,
Everything.
Hmm.
Everything.
Hmm.
at everything.
I'm really
That's what, like,
curious.
I like for me, like, to hear this conversation, it kind of pings back into something that I was saying the other day. I'm just like, yo, seriously, like, if you as a goddess or as somebody who's not awakened to the fact that they're a goddess, they're going to continually go out and hypersexualize everything because they don't recognize that that sacral power is what manifests your, like, empress. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, your empress
Yeah.
energy. So, like, to be able to stand and embody, like, all four, queens, and in any aspect of a realm, earth, wind, fire, air, water, whatever the case might be, you
Mm-hmm.
want to be mindful that you need to have balance within yourself. I mean, like, for me, um like, I'm not the type that's just gonna go, like, throw some ass shots, or throw ass pictures in somebody's DM, or, like, be up there, like, I mean, shit, you might have a random picture where, oh shoot, like, I didn't have a bra on that day and accidentally post that shit. It's not on the, oh, they're gonna look at my nipples and be all up in my DM type, energy, and I might get a bag off of this. Like, so many women are out here, like, looking for others to validate themselves, and then it's just like you are putting yourself into a position where, as though you're potentially becoming a crab in a bucket. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because you don't want to recognize your worth as the divine feminine, who is all empress if she chooses to be.
Yep.
And your sacral power is literally your manifestation power. Like, we came in through the womb and we manifest out of the womb, period. So to be able to have that power, like, for myself, like, I'm celibate, like, I'm, like, straight up, and my my creative, like, essence has been, like through the pineal
Fire.
gland completely, like, we talking
Liddy over
about
there, Jack.
literally, like, mind orgasms all day. Like, I'm seriously with it. But
Mm-hmm.
still at the time, of this due season, like, shit, you feel me? I like,
So the other part of
like,
this weekend,
you
the
know,
reason
but
why
I'm not
Lucia and
gonna
I are
be out
laughing,
there. I'm not gonna
no,
be out there with my ass out, you know, like because I know my worth, you know, like
heck yeah.
if you don't
Well,
have anything in your
and I hear it. So so in terms of artists, I wish Mariah was here. I get it. And Lizzo's trying to like desensitize it,
Yeah.
and I get it. But I get it. And Scrappy, I mean, you do it, and you be getting some big old nice booties too. I mean, but you know when he does the look, I'm like,
want to
well, where you find
repost.
that one?
Oh yeah.
Scrap gets the bubble butt. I'm like, Scrap, where you find that bubble butt right there? And there's a part of me that I get it. So there's this whole, you know, younger, like less tenured, because I'm in my 52nd castle. So the 21 to 31s are like, oh, it's my body, I could do whatever, and this is what I mean, like, but I, if I can go to another country and to some
Literally,
race of
and your
man
eyes will do it. That's what
that
I'm
this will
talking
do it,
about.
what are you doing turning around, shaking your assets, thinking that somebody's going to find you valuable? Like, I don't understand the high value in your booty shot. I
It
do,
is no high
not
value
socially.
in trash
You can do
pussy
whatever you
either.
want. Like
Women
in
out here just giving their
discretion.
pussy
I'm a bad
away.
mamma jamma.
A
Don't
vaginal
get it
gift.
twisted. My DMs is lit. So let's be
I'm
clear.
just saying, you
Whew,
know,
I'm
like they
cinematographer.
put
I
it as
am
an
a
option, you know.
cinematographer. All right, yeah. um because that's, for me, that's, some of that is fun, that some of that is the build. And like you got us, I did, Lucia will tell you, I chose celibacy for what, 9 months, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
it was a
um
lot longer than I anticipated.
yeah, no,
Not talking to you about
Mm.
sex.
I didn't know, I lost myself. And interestingly enough, I blocked my own throat chakra by denying myself
Right.
part of myself that I valued so much. So in
Ah,
doing that celibacy thing for the wrong reason, so it was charged by it was me trying, not trying, because I did it. It was me disciplining myself to desensitize myself to break, like, my a pattern that I thought I had. Okay. And in doing that, I blocked my whole, to the point I couldn't sing. I had laryngitis for almost 3 of the, if not 5 of the 9 months. And then I had to like do crazy work to take the layers off. But I had to go and do this work, which is some on is a shaman walk stuff that we're doing, which is to go into the heart space, to really walk through the chambers of the heart. And as you walk through the chambers of the heart, you have to go and express I love you to people and forgive folks. And before you get there, before you even get to that work, you have to define the people. It was 42 people.
Wow.
42 people that I needed to say I love you to, that I see them, I value them, and I forgive them. Baby.
mhm.
After that, then she started making me do my and she ran the pathway called the entanglement pathway, which is neuromodular therapy, if you're trying to understand where that's coming from. And as she did that, I was able to start doing the solfeggio and start to do my scales. And she was like, where
Wow.
are you now? And it took 3 sessions of that to get my
Wow.
voice back. And
That's amazing.
this weekend was all about going to absolutely getting flown out, because I was a bad mamma jam. So my DMs is litty, was to get flown out and to
Mm.
create this whole, manifest this whole weekend.
Right. But the intention around the DM. So this is, I want to just put in one little piece right there because I know Queen Goddess, you were like, this one specific piece around like throwing ass shots. I mean, I definitely slip into people's DMs that I want to connect with, that, I feel connected with. And I do it with like my goddess, so
same here.
if you're getting, you know, heart shaped in heaven, in your DM, then I'm 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 giving you, you're getting an offering.
Yep.
It's an offering, and I do it with a lot of reverence because, I'm good. I make good on my offer because it's my pleasure and I get to choose those pieces of where it goes. And Lady Holly, continue because the story is so
Yeah.
good.
So in manifesting, you can tell we do this because clearly it's like we throw a ball and I just can't. That's the alley oop. You saw that, Shaq? I mean, you saw that script?
I was watching. I was like, oh, okay.
Yes.
It's the alley oop. Like, you need a sound effect right there. But, but in manifesting, um, we actually Lionsgate Portal was the biggest for me to put in my consciousness the intention that I was like, okay, it's really time for you have to be okay and in a place where you're able to accept a partner, and able to want to be in this love, this very, very feminine love energy. Because feminine love energy to me, sometimes that's when my inner dude comes in. It's like, that's too girly for me. It's too frivolous. And Lucia will say, she's like, oh my God, I've never seen you like this. You're like a schoolgirl. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like it. And then I want to like sit with my legs open and crack back a beer. But because that's the masculine side, right? That's Kyle. And so it was really good to literally use all the tools that I had, in a way to manifest, and a situation, right, a situationship, um, and to be able to, in an adult way, get flown out. Like that's a beautiful thing. And um and to get pampered, spoiled, spanked, all of the above. That was it was,
That sounds like something to be on my
um
schedule,
dinner
okay?
dinner and a show. Like all of it, right?
Who
Room service the
who's
next
it at the
day. Like,
door? Oh, it's spanking, it's spoiling, it's it's spending at the
And
door. How do you feel about
yes,
that?
There you go.
and it was wonderful, and it was wonderful, and so it was like, it had so many ebbs and flows to it, um and I'm okay with all of it, right? And and then part of it was in flow. So part of it was the universe then does what the universe does, is that in the whole thing, and you know me, Lucia, I get vulnerable like a motherfucker. I don't even care.
yeah, do it because
I
I'm here.
get,
I know what you're about to say, and I'm supporting you, and I'll.
I'm in full blossom. And so,
Full
Lucia, I'm
blossom.
freaking out. Scrap is like, what? Like, um, so I called Lucia and I'm like, what is going on? And why is my body doing this? And what the hell is going on? And how could this be happening? And she reminds me, she sends me this video. She reminds me who the hell I am. And she was just like, hello, McFly. She was like,
That's
McFly.
funny.
She was like, you're grown. This is not an issue. Like, pull yourself, like, smack, like, get yourself together. And I'm in there doing selfies up against the glass wall, just teeing up the weekend because I got there first. So I get into the hotel room, I got the bottle of prosecco, I'm like making drinks, I got the incense going, and I'm like taking these seductive pictures because unfortunately he was delayed, and so I'm taking pictures up against the glass in the hotel. He was like, "Oh, is there a balcony?" I was like, "No."
Mm.
I was like, "No." It's gonna make it look good though. And so yeah, no, absolutely pulled myself together and had more. I would say some of the best sex of three, if, for like, yeah, for a while now. And it was all in, and the segue here is that, um that moment. Thank you,
That's what
Scrap.
I was thinking. It's a good week for sex. Okay, I like that.
That moment of being able to get to a heightened state of orgasm, to get to the third eye awakening and be in it and be present through that, and to allow yourself to breathe and sink into that. Yo. And see, that's when the back shots, they become unimportant, because when you want to get to that, yo, that's the part. Like, that's the part. That's like the have you seen the meme on Instagram, Shaq, where the guy has the piece of fruit and he's in the kitchen? He's like, yeah, you just stick your finger in it, and the wife is like, huh? And he's like, yeah, you just stick your finger in it, and he sucks it. So he goes, oh, it tastes so good, and then he does it again, and she's like looking at him like he's crazy, and then he does it for her, and all she's sitting there going, like, she's like, but it's like, that's the part. If more people understood that sex is not mediocre, And it, even in vanilla sex, is not, you can make your vanilla sex not mediocre and get to that place of that tantric friggin' awakening moment. If you can get to that more than you get to the chicken nugget of it, please.
Chicken nugget.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh wait, who's supposed selenite crystal
So,
selenite? I
ooh,
have
I like
I have
how
crystal
it.
quartz.
That's because I
Yeah.
freaking love
So
her.
there.
Yeah, man. And then you do the singing bowl. So that was my download. That was my download. Is that third eye tantric awakening? Is that orgasm? Everybody has the orgasm at different time, and then the intensity of the sound bowl. And yeah, man. My next retreat. My next retreat's gonna be restless.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I love you.
Lady Holly, I just want to make sure everybody knows what full blossom means out there.
I don't know that they do.
I don't think they do, but
Tell you.
let's just say that, like, a man that isn't willing to get his red wings is is really missing out on
Yeah.
Say that again,
being
Lucia. Tell him
um,
again.
a man who is not willing to get his red wings is missing out on possibly one of the greatest experiences of his life in connecting with the divine feminine, with
Yeah.
God, with higher states of consciousness, with pure, like true, pure, raw, unadulterated grownness. So, I think there's like a misnomer because of
I was just about
religion.
to say, like, I'm so bummed I can't see Scrap's face right now.
Scrap says
I
red
know, right?
wings.
Scrap is purposely hiding behind the
Scrap, where you going?
technology because he's
Scrap, I'm
blushing.
gonna I'm gonna send you a video, Scrap, in IG, and I just want you to take a moment to just
Yeah. Oh, he should
listen
post it
to it.
actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Scrap.
I had definitely
Take a
saw that video,
moment.
and in the moment didn't didn't think about that video. Didn't think about. I was feeling like bummed out, and when Lucia reminded me, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm good. I'm good.
Right. Right. And I just shared with Scrap the last week, um, about getting my period after 18 months of not having my period. LiSarah, I didn't tell you that. Suddenly I'm out of
Oh,
menopause again, reversing
she's
the
back.
time,
Yeah, and then
reversing time.
she teased me up to be a subservient uterus. Thanks a lot.
And I was like, I'm gonna celebrate this. I was like, I'm gonna get that D. I'm like, yes. I was like, this is
It's
great. And
good. Like
and I
I'm
was
just
like, I was in major manifestation mode. I was like painting and
Yeah,
with
man.
my making it all happen. And I was like, I'm all about honoring this time. It's like I had no qualms, since I was young, about at least in my 20s, where I was already, people are like free bleeding and putting their blood in the garden. I've been doing that for a long time,
Hmm.
you know just because bringing back to the earth is really replenishing, and it actually saves the earth when you bleed into the earth. It's like women understood, you know um that it's a natural part of life. It's a time to like come inward, and like when we have a divine masculine or even a divine feminine counterpart that is like holding us through that time, especially through our pleasure. I mean, I'll tell you, some of the best fucking orgasms I have ever had have
with
been on my period.
yes,
I'm
If
like,
Yes.
man,
if
mind blowing.
If Queen smiles any harder, and and you know how somebody smiling like they know what you're talking about. That was Queen. Was her smile was progressively getting bigger and bigger as she was talking. I was like, she's gonna be all smile, no face in a minute.
Right?
Well,
Because the goddess,
have
goddess
you?
knows.
So at
oh,
20, I had
and I told
who
her
do we
that
have? We had
myself and
Robin
see,
Bird.
I'll get a little warm.
We had Robin Bird on Channel 13, and we had Dr. Ruth Westheimer, um, and we had the articles in Playboy and Penthouse, right? Those are like readily, easily accessible stuff. We didn't have Pornhub. We didn't have like the
Or
ability to
look
go
that
and
magazine with the
Google
beauty.
every damn thing. Which is why I say we got, smartphones and dumb people. Because if I had the power that you had, these young people have it on the telephone, I would be, what's that? The guy from Austin Power, $10 gazillion. I'd own the free world. Because if someone were to say to me, like, with the exception of having a Muslim boyfriend, and I understood it from a religious practice, like you said, Lucia, I've had I had this whole moment where, of course, I dated older men, so I've